All right, so let me ask you guys this. Cass, grab a mic here. If a teacher came to you and said, look, your kid's been out of hand, man, and we have tried everything that we can, and they don't seem to be calming down at all. Would you mind if every now and then, when they get out of line, I just give them a little something right there on the butt? You just give me the green light, and I'm going to handle it that way. Cass, would you allow it?
You put a finger on my child, I'm going to put a fist in your face, and I'm pulling my kid out of your class. If a teacher even approached me and asked if they could hit my child, my kid's out of that class. Absolutely freaking not.
So prior to having children, we have talked about corporal punishment before and spankings, etc. And I had a handful growing up, and I was pro spanking, especially if it was something like the child could have caused some serious self-harm in whatever action they were doing. And I was not the least bit opposed. And then I had a kid. Right. And let me just tell you, nobody is laying a hand on my child. Because that is not, and upon further, doing my own independent research as far as gentle parenting, et cetera, and other ways to communicate with your child, I just don't feel that, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, some of this is old school here. So I found out yesterday in reading this article that Cassie sent that there are 19 states that still say, yeah, you know what? Go ahead. You want to go ahead and spank kids in your class? It's legal to do, right? So and I'm curious from you guys, 1-855-BERT show. If you'd be down with this, I mean, I remember this old school mentality, it takes a village, And there was a time when your kids would come home and say something like, I got paddled by my teacher, and the parents wouldn't even think twice about it, right?
There's a giant wooden spoon hanging up in the front office of our elementary school.
So the debate is coming up again because there's a town in Missouri that is bringing back spanking as a form of discipline. It's a school district in southwestern Missouri, and they are bringing it back for students that are kind of out of hand if their parents agree. Despite warnings from many public health experts, they say this isn't healthy for the students. Mm-hmm. This school district in Missouri is saying we're going for it. So classes resumed on Tuesday, and I'm reading right from the article now. In the Cassville School District, that's ironic, Cassie.
Do not associate my name with that. They need to change the name of their school district.
For the first time since the school board in June approved bringing corporal punishment back, there's about 1,900 students in the district. The district had dropped it in 2001. Now let's take a look at the policy a little bit closer. The policy states that corporal punishment will be used only when other forms of discipline, such as suspensions, have failed, and then only with the superintendent's permission. So the superintendent told the Springfield News Leader the decision came after an anonymous survey found that parents, students, and school employees were concerned about student behavior and discipline. She says, we've had people actually thank us for it. Surprisingly, those on social media would probably be appalled to hear us say these things, but the majority of people that I've run into have been supportive. Here's what else I found out yesterday in the same article. U.S. Supreme Court in 1977 ruled that corporal punishment is constitutional, left it up to the states for making their own policies, and 19 of them, many in the South, have kept it on the books. 19.
Just because it's constitutional doesn't mean it's right. Mm-hmm. It just means the Constitution doesn't specifically say, no, you cannot do this. And I hate that misnomer. And the thing about being an educator, first of all, I'm not an educator. I'm not a teacher, and I have no idea what it's like to wrangle 20 plus kids every single day. Those people are superhuman. I have enough trouble with just 2. At the same time, though, for a school district, it's their job to protect and educate the students. And if you look at the science behind it, that sort of spankings can lead to, they don't really reduce the inappropriate behavior. They can lead to more aggression, hostility, depression, self-esteem problems. The kids don't fare as well academically. They can suffer psychological trauma. So there are all these things. And then there are proven things that are better for kids in terms of fixing their behavior. So why would you go that route where you hit a child? And even if you're a parent that agrees to it, you can't control how hard the kid is hit. Mm-hmm. And this article also says that Black children and disabled children are disproportionately subjected to this kind of punishment. So there's so many things you can't control. I don't understand why you wouldn't take the route that is better for the kids rather than one that actually is detrimental toward them.
Kelly here thinks that some kids might actually need this. Hey, Kelly, good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. Captain Kristen, I was on the same page as you. I'm a mother. My child has dealt with a certain bully at school who does not get discipline at home, and the state's not involved in anything. I feel like if there's a certain amount of time, like, take that child on the butt. I'm sorry. I love you guys, though.
No, you don't got to apologize for having a different opinion. We really appreciate
it. No,
Yeah.
and I'm sure as a mother of a child who's being bullied, you probably are so frustrated and at your wit's end. I can only imagine. I just don't think spanking the bully is going to do it's going to fix the situation.
Yeah, I wonder if it's only going to make it worse because here you are telling the bully, like, okay, and Kelly, I want to get you in on this because psychologically you're telling the bully, look, you're not allowed to hit anybody in school. Mm-hmm. And then a teacher hits you to a young student. That must really be confusing.
I mean, I really feel sorry for this child. It's to the point my daughter has to go to therapy because of her.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Man, that is
I don't spank my child. Well, I have in the past, and I felt really bad about it and didn't solve the situation, but there's got to be sort of schools need to have more power, and they've had that power taken from them. Teachers have had certain powers taken from them, not spanking, but as far as disciplinary suspension, like, it's a horrible mess right now.
Nah, I appreciate your different opinion. Thanks for calling, Kelly.
Thanks.
See you now.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show on your favorite podcast platform. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us. I don't know what any of these buttons do, by the way.